Welcome back, everyone. Today's deep dive is all about the Millionaire Master Plan by Roger James Hamilton.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that one.
It's a pretty popular book, and Hamilton, is a founder of Genius Group.
Right, Genius Group, yeah.
So he's a well-known entrepreneur, and this book is all about, well, obviously becoming a millionaire, but he has this interesting approach, I think.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just about the money. It's about something he calls the
Dynamics
of wealth.
Right.
And that's what I thought was so interesting. It's not just about
Yeah.
accumulating money.
That's actually a really big point he makes in the book.
Yeah.
He argues that just focusing on the money itself, that's not the point.
Right?
Like understanding how wealth works as a system,
Okay.
that's far more important in the long run.
So what exactly are these dynamics of wealth?
So it's like shifting your perspective
Okay.
away from seeing wealth as just
Just your bank account.
just a number in your bank
Okay.
account, but more about like understanding it as a system,
Yeah.
a flow of resources, mindset, impact. It's kind of
For
like,
the whole picture?
yeah, it's like the difference between seeing like a single tree and then understanding the whole forest.
Ah, okay. So it's not just like how much you have.
Yeah.
It's how you got it, how you manage it,
Exactly. And then what you do with it too.
what you do with it. Yeah, that's a big one.
That's huge.
Okay. So to kind of illustrate this journey, Hamilton, he uses this metaphor of a wealth lighthouse. Have you heard of that?
Oh, yeah, the Wealth Lighthouse, yeah.
So it's like this visual representation
That's a great way to think about it.
of different levels of financial and personal growth.
Exactly, and how they're all connected.
So you're not just climbing like a financial ladder.
Right.
You're actually like evolving.
It's a journey, yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
as you go higher.
Absolutely. So like at the base of this lighthouse, you might be struggling,
Right,
debt paycheck to paycheck.
survival mode.
Exactly. Survival mode. And then as you move up, you start to achieve stability.
You have an emergency fund, maybe you're investing a little.
So the mindset is shifting.
It's shifting from like scarcity to security.
Okay. So it's not just about earning more. It's also about feeling
More secure and in control.
more in control of your finances.
Exactly.
And then I imagine you keep climbing and there are different
Different levels, yeah.
financial independence, maybe even abundance.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So each level kind of requires not just like different financial strategies.
I imagine your mindset.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You have to shift your beliefs and behaviors as you go.
So you're to level up your mindset
You got it.
to match your financial growth.
It's all connected.
I like that it's a really good visual.
And what's interesting is he talks about the importance of aligning your actions with like the principles of each level.
Okay.
So like say at the stability level, right? You wouldn't jump into risky investments that are designed for people who are like at the abundance level.
Right. You're not ready for that.
Yeah. It's about taking steps that are appropriate
For where you are.
for where you are in your journey.
So it's like mastering the fundamentals before you move on.
You got it.
That's really insightful. And I think, this is something that a lot of people struggle with.
Oh, yeah.
They try to skip ahead.
You want to get rich quick.
Exactly. And then they fall flat.
And then they wonder why it's not working.
So I guess like if someone is listening to this
Yeah.
and they're at the base of the lighthouse trying to move up,
Yeah.
what's like the biggest takeaway they should focus on?
I think the most important thing is to focus on building a solid foundation.
Okay.
That means, creating a budget, tracking your expenses, and paying down debt.
Okay, so it's not about feeling ashamed
No, not at all.
if you're at the bottom.
It's about being empowered
Yeah.
to make positive changes.
So the Wealth Lighthouse, it's not just a destination. It's like
It's a roadmap for the whole journey.
a roadmap.
It shows you the way.
I like that. And as you're climbing it, like your perspective changes.
Yeah.
Literally, yeah. You can see further.
So the higher you climb, the more you can see,
The more opportunities you see.
the more possibilities.
Yeah, and you understand things differently.
So what's next?
Well, that's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
Because he argues that while everyone is climbing the same lighthouse, they don't all take the same path.
Okay.
And that's where he introduces the 8 wealth profiles.
Okay, so we'll have to dive into that.
Yes, we will.
But before we move on, I want to ask you,
Mm-hmm.
how would you say visualizing your financial journey as climbing this lighthouse, how can that help someone?
I think it's a really powerful tool because it forces you to like honestly assess where you are and where you want to go.
Right.
And for me personally, I see myself somewhere between the stability and independence level,
Okay.
but aspiring to reach abundance.
Yeah.
but not just for myself.
Yeah.
I want to be able to make a positive impact.
But I think that's what's so compelling about Hamilton's approach.
Yeah. It's not just about achieving financial success for yourself. It's about using that success to make a difference.
Absolutely.
All right, so
that brings us to the 8 wealth profiles.
yes, let's explore those next.
Let's do it. All right, so we've talked about the Wealth Lighthouse. Everyone's climbing the same lighthouse, but not everyone takes the same path.
Right.
And that's where the 8 wealth profiles come in.
Okay, this is what I've been waiting for. I'm ready to figure out what my wealth archetype is.
All right, let's do it.
Lay it on me.
So first up, we have the creator.
Okay.
These are the visionaries, the big picture thinkers.
Okay.
Always bursting with new ideas. They see opportunities where other people just see obstacles.
So like the classic idea people.
Exactly. And, they can be a little chaotic sometimes.
Yes, I can see that.
But their strength is really in that vision.
Okay.
So, people like Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, they fit into this category.
Okay, so they're good at like the big picture stuff.
The big picture, the inspiration, but they might struggle with like the execution.
Right, the day-to-day.
Yeah. So finding partners or team members who can handle that side of things is really important for them.
So you need someone to build the spaceship while the creator is planning the mission to Mars.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it.
Okay, what's next?
All right. So next we have the star.
The star, okay.
These are the people who thrive in the spotlight. They're charismatic, influential. They often use their personal brand to build wealth.
So like Oprah Winfrey?
Oprah Winfrey, yeah, exactly. Or like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Okay, so they're good at marketing.
They're amazing at marketing. They have that natural magnetism.
Yeah, they draw people in.
They do. But, there can be downsides.
What do you mean?
Well, they might struggle with criticism or delegating.
Right, because they're used to being in control.
Exactly. And they might spread themselves too thin, taking on too many projects.
Yeah, I can see that.
So the key is to stay focused and build a team that can support their vision.
So they need people around them who can keep them grounded.
And keep them grounded and focused.
Okay, that makes sense. What about the people who don't want to be in the spotlight?
Well, those are the supporters.
Okay.
The supporters. They are the glue that holds everything together. They're incredible team players, organizers, motivators.
Okay, so behind the scenes.
Yeah, behind the scenes, but super important.
So like who would be an example of that?
Someone like Sheryl Sandberg, known for her leadership and her ability to empower others.
Okay, so they're good at building relationships.
Yeah, fostering collaboration, making sure everyone feels valued.
So they can be leaders too.
Oh, absolutely. They lead by empowering others, creating a supportive environment.
So they're not the ones necessarily shouting from the rooftops.
No, but their impact is huge.
That's a really important role.
It is for sure.
All right, what about the deal makers, the negotiators, the people who make things happen?
Ah, yes, the deal makers.
Oh, okay, let's talk about them.
They are all about spotting opportunities, connecting the dots, and they're natural negotiators, networkers.
Okay.
They see the potential in others, and they know how to bring people and resources together.
So like Warren Buffett.
Warren Buffett is a great example, yeah. Or Sarah Blakely.
So they're the masters of leverage.
Yes, they are.
But are there any potential downsides?
Well, they might get caught up in the excitement of a deal.
Right, and not think things through.
Exactly. So they need to be careful about assessing risks and maintaining their integrity.
So not just chasing the quick win.
Exactly. It's about finding that balance.
Okay, what about the people who are more about like strategy and long-term planning?
Those would be the accumulators.
The accumulators, okay.
They're all about discipline and long-term vision. They're methodical, risk-averse.
Okay.
They build wealth gradually through consistent effort and smart investments.
So like the slow and steady wins the race kind of approach?
Yes, exactly. Like think of Warren Buffett again or Charlie Munger.
They've been doing this for decades.
Exactly. But, there can be downsides to this approach too.
What do you mean?
Well, they might be too cautious or miss out on opportunities because they're not willing to take risks.
Okay, so they need to find a balance.
Yeah, a balance between their conservative nature and being willing to adapt to changes.
So being open to new ideas.
Yeah, but still sticking to their principles.
It's all about finding that balance, right?
It really is. What about the people who are all about systems and efficiency?
Oh, that's interesting. Tell me more.
Those are the lords.
The lords, okay.
They're all about building empires, establishing structures, maximizing efficiency.
So they like to be in control.
They like to create systems that streamline everything.
So who would be an example of the lord?
Think of historical figures like Andrew Carnegie or Henry Ford.
Okay, so they built massive businesses.
Exactly. They revolutionized industries by creating these large-scale operations.
So they're the architects of success.
Yes, you could say that.
But are there any downsides?
Well, they might become too focused on control and struggle with delegating.
Okay, so they need to learn to let go a little bit
Exactly. And they might also resist change.
because it disrupts their system.
Exactly. So finding that balance between maintaining order and embracing innovation is key for them.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. What about the people who are like tinkerers? They love to figure out how things work.
Ah, those are the mechanics.
The mechanics, okay.
They love detail, they're passionate about problem solving, and they're always looking for ways to improve things.
So they're like the inventors.
Yeah, like Thomas Edison or Steve Wozniak. They had that natural curiosity and love for tinkering.
So they would be good at engineering or technology.
Absolutely anything where they can experiment and problem solve.
But are there any potential downsides for mechanics?
Well, they might get lost in the details.
Okay, and lose sight of the big picture.
Exactly. And they might struggle with working collaboratively because they like to have control over their projects.
So they need to work on their teamwork skills.
Yeah, and their communication.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of profiles. What's the last one?
Last but not least, we have the trader.
The trader. Okay.
These are the masters of timing risk assessment, and they thrive in fast-paced environments.
Okay.
They use their analytical skills and their intuition to capitalize on opportunities.
So they're like the stock market whizzes.
Oh, exactly. Think of people like George Soros or Ray Dalio.
They made millions in the markets.
They did. They have a deep understanding of how markets work.
But it seems risky.
It can be.
Huh.
So they need to be really good at managing risk and making disciplined decisions.
So they can't let their emotions get in the way.
Exactly. They need to have nerves of steel.
Wow. So we've got the creator, the star, the supporter, the deal maker, the accumulator, the lord, the mechanic, and the trader.
That's all 8.
It's amazing how each profile has its own strengths and challenges.
It is. And the key is understanding how those strengths and weaknesses can influence your financial decisions, your career path.
So once you know your profile,
Yeah.
you can use that knowledge to make better choices. This is so fascinating.
It is, and it really makes you think about how your own tendencies are playing out in your life.
Yeah. So which profile do you think you resonate with the most?
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
I see bits of myself in a few of them, but I think I lean more towards the supporter and the accumulator.
Okay.
I really value collaboration and long-term thinking.
What about you? I'm definitely feeling a connection to the creator and the star.
I can see that.
I love brainstorming new ideas and connecting with people.
Yeah.
But I also see how my tendency to jump from one thing to the next might be holding me back a little.
That's a great insight.
So now that we know about these profiles,
Mm-hmm.
how do we actually use this information to create like a personalized roadmap?
That's what we're going to explore in the final part of this deep dive.
Okay, let's do it. Okay, so we've explored the Wealth Lighthouse. We've looked at all 8 wealth profiles.
We've covered a lot of ground.
We have, and it's really fascinating to see how those concepts, they kind of,
Shine a light.
shine a light on our natural tendencies and how we approach, wealth creation and all that.
Exactly. And how we think about money in general.
Yeah, but now let's get practical.
Mm-hmm.
How can we actually use all this knowledge to create a personalized roadmap, to actually achieve some success here?
That's the million-dollar question right there.
Yeah, because it's not enough to just know your profile.
Right. You have to take action.
So where do we even begin?
Well, I think a good starting point is to think about your goals.
Okay.
What are your current financial goals?
Yeah.
Do you want to achieve stability? Are you thinking about starting a business?
Right. Or maybe just investing wisely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So those goals, they should really guide your actions.
Okay. So once you know your goals, then what?
And think about your wealth profile as like your unique set of tools.
Okay.
Once you know which tools you have, you can use them more effectively.
So for example.
So let's say you're a creator and you're dreaming of starting a business.
Okay.
Your strength is going to be in those innovative ideas, but you might need to partner with someone who's really good at operations and execution.
So someone who's like a mechanic or a supporter.
Exactly. Someone who can complement your strengths.
So it's about recognizing our limitations.
We can't be good at everything.
We can't do it all.
And that's why collaboration is so powerful.
Yeah, finding the right people.
Yeah. Understanding your profile can help you identify who you need to surround yourself with.
Whether it's for a business or even just managing your personal finances.
Yeah.
Like we're all part of a bigger system.
We are. And even within your own profile, there are specific strategies you can focus on.
Okay, so like for the accumulator.
Yeah, for the accumulator, it's all about maximizing those skills of long-term thinking and disciplined investing.
So they would create a financial plan and stick to it.
Exactly.
Right.
Diversify their portfolio, invest consistently over time.
What about a star?
For a star, It's all about building that personal brand, leveraging their influence.
So they could be public speakers or create online content.
Yeah, like they could have a YouTube channel, write a book.
So they're monetizing their charisma and expertise.
Exactly. And it's important to remember that, this isn't about fitting into a box.
Right.
Your wealth profile is a starting point.
It's a framework.
Yeah, it's a framework to understand yourself better.
So you can develop skills in areas where you might be weaker.
Absolutely.
So if I'm not a natural trader,
Yeah,
I can still learn about investing.
you can learn anything you set your mind to.
It's all about continuous learning and growth.
Exactly. And I think one of the biggest takeaways from the book is that financial success, it's not just about the numbers.
Right.
It's about aligning your actions with your values.
That's a good point.
What do you want to achieve with your money? How can you use your resources to make a positive impact?
Those are good questions.
It's about creating a life of meaning and purpose.
Yeah. And everyone's journey is going to be different.
Absolutely. There will be challenges and triumphs.
But by understanding your wealth profile
Yeah.
and aligning your actions with your values,
You can navigate those challenges and create a path that's fulfilling and impactful.
well, this deep dive has been amazing.
I agree.
We've covered so much ground.
We have.
We explored the Wealth Lighthouse. We discovered the 8 wealth profiles
And we talked about how to apply this knowledge.
to create our own personalized roadmaps to success.
It's all about taking action.
So as we wrap up,
Yeah.
what's the one key takeaway you would leave our listener with?
I would say this: your wealth journey is yours. To create, embrace your strengths, learn from your challenges, and never stop exploring the possibilities that are out there.
I love that.
And remember, true wealth, it's not just about what you accumulate. It's about the impact you make on the world.
That's a beautiful thought to end on.
Thank you.
We hope this deep dive has given you the insights and the inspiration to start building your own path, to a more fulfilling and abundant life.
Absolutely. Go out there and make it happen.
Until next time, keep climbing that wealth lighthouse one step at a time.